Last year, I had a look at the Fujifilm X-A5, which was one of Fujifilm's most popular X-A series cameras to date. Now today in 2019, Fujifilm have come back with an update to it with the X-A7 with a brand new redesigned body and full of features. Liv and I today are going to take this baby out for a spin and we're going to see what it's all about. The Fujifilm X-A7 is a hybrid camera designed for enthusiasts doing video as well as photo. Today's video, we're going to have a look at what this camera is all about. We're going to have a look at its design features, then we're going to go over the pros and cons of the camera, have a look at the image and video samples, and we'll end the video from there. On the inside of the Fujifilm X-A7, you have a revamped 24.2 megapixel sensor. And on the sensor, it has 8.5 times more phase detection points, meaning you're going to get a stronger autofocus performance. Speaking of autofocus, it now houses a 117 hybrid AF point system, and it's backed up with a strong copper wiring system to the processor, which is going to give you a lot faster performance and also less noise when shooting in lower light conditions. In terms of low light performance, the Fujifilm X-A7 has an ISO range of 200 to 12,800, which can be expanded from 100 to 51,200. For those who enjoy shooting video, the Fujifilm X-A7 has 4K video recording capabilities up to 30 frames per second and can also record full HD up to 60 frames per second. For those who love shooting action and fast-paced shooting, the Fujifilm X-A7 can shoot as fast as 6 frames per second. So now we're going to pass it on to Liv to talk about the design of the camera.
The Fujifilm X-A7 has a redesigned wider body than the X-A5. It also has a huge 3.5-inch touchscreen which flips out for better ergonomics. What I really like about the X-A7 is its minimal button design. On the back you have 4 buttons as well as a joystick, and on the top there's a mode dial as well as 2 setting dials. As for ports, there's a 2.5mm mic jack, a mini HDMI, as well as a USB-C port. The X-A7 has 1 SD slot, and just like the rest of the higher end Fuji cameras, it takes an NPW126S battery.
So now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of the Fujifilm X-A7, starting with the pros. The Fujifilm X-A7 is still a very creative camera as it is loaded with a bunch of creative features such as film simulation, as you would see in the rest of the Fujifilm camera range. It's also got some other features as well, such as portrait enhancer, which helps soften skin. You've got a light trail mode to really help shoot those longer exposures. And finally, it does have a pretty cool depth of field visualizer to help you preview what your photo is gonna look like with different depth of field effects. Secondly, I really love the screen in the Fujifilm X-A7. Not only does it boast a large size, but it has a nice aspect ratio of 16:9. Now the fact that it flips out as well means that if you do have a shotgun mic attached to the hot shoe mount, or anything attached to the hot shoe mount, the screen will not be obstructed. Thirdly, the X-A7 has a really nice UI, which is very easy to use. Now, if you're coming from a smartphone, using the X-A7 is a good transition camera into the world of digital camera photography. The menu is nice and easy to use as there's not really much for you to access and everything can be done by your fingertips. Now onto the cons. Really my only con with the design of the camera and the features is that it does house a 2.5mm mic jack. Now, I'm glad that it does have a mic jack in, and Fujifilm have been putting it in for a while, but I would really like just to have a cleaner 3.5mm mic jack so I don't have to adapt the camera by adding a little extra adapter into the port. Now what Fujifilm have said, and I'm not too sure if this is confirmed yet, is that the X-A7 will be shipping with 2.5 to 3.5mm mic adapters, but we'll see if that is true in a later date. Now we're going to go out and test this camera and do some samples. So right now what I'm going to do is test the portrait enhancement function. So I'm going to take 2 photos of Liv, one with it off, smile, and then So just some other things I like about the Fujifilm X-A7. The film simulation mode has a really cool preview mode so that it just comes up and compares your old and your new simulation. It should be changed with a slider. And then in terms of video, the camera does not have any inbuilt stabilization. So all your stabilization will be done through the lens. So if you are doing video, you've just got to be a bit more stable or use a grip if you are vlogging. So one of the best things about having a flip screen is that your model can basically compose the photo for you, and the camera has such a great facial detection and eye detection, so I don't even have to look at the camera. So now just going to talk about the samples that we've shot with the Fujifilm X-A7. With our test footage and video, we used the Fujifilm X-A7 with the kit lens XC 15 to 45mm lens. Now though this isn't the best lens on that camera, it is the lens that it comes with, so we did all our samples on it. Images come out super crisp, the colors are amazing, and so there's really not much to complain on that front. For anyone who's an enthusiast looking to get amazing travel photos, this is the perfect camera for it. Now, in terms of the video on the X-A7, although the video looks absolutely fantastic, we did have a couple problems in terms of our user experience with it. Now, we're not sure if this is because the X-A7 we have is a prototype or a pre-production model. However, when we were filming, it did get a bit difficult when we hit that record button and it seemed to fluctuate the exposure. Josh and I had a bit of problems when we pressed that button and it goes super bright or super dark, and then we'd have to readjust the exposure for it to get to the correct amount. Now, I really do appreciate that in a camera like this, you do get features such as slow motion, and you do get a large variety of flexibility in 4K and Full HD filming. So if you are a vlogger, you'll appreciate the amount of flexibility that you get out of this camera. Now, other things I like about the camera as well, the autofocus was brilliant. The eye detection works really well, and I had a really good user experience going through the quick menu and the touch menu to do all my little creative adjustments. Now for the price point of the camera as well, costing only $999 Australian, it is super accessible for any beginner or enthusiast or even vlogger to invest in a system that gives high quality features as well as high quality content as well. In conclusion, the Fujifilm X-A7 is a great entry-level camera for any vlogger or photography enthusiast. If you are traveling and looking for a lightweight solution or a beginner camera to start off from, coming from a smartphone, the X-A7 is a great camera for that. Now, if you have any questions on the Fujifilm X-A7, pop them in the comments below. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, as well as our blog to stay up to date with our latest videos, as well as what's going on in store. And as always, hit the like button and the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our latest uploads as we upload videos weekly.
Already ruined it.
We're not doing